This book is aimed directly at the person who wants to get into pigeon racing quickly and successfully, without wasting 5 or 10 years learning lessons the hard way. It is not a book of waffle. It is not a book of filler. It is a book of actionable steps. The daily routine section is one of the strongest parts of the book. It lays out precisely what your morning should look like, what your evening should look like, when water is changed, when the birds exercise, when they trap, when they are fed, and how much. It hammers home the fact that overfeeding is one of the beginner's biggest traps. It teaches the 10-minute feeding discipline. It makes feeding a strategy, not a guessing game. Books links in the description. Buy directly from Amazon. The book also gives the beginner extremely practical rules for training young birds. Again, no fluff, no vague motivational cliches. It lays out step-by-step development, loft flying, disciplined trapping, orientation tosses, increasing distance gradually, and training in a way that maximizes confidence and minimizes loss. Who should buy this book? Perfect for complete beginners considering entering pigeon racing, first-season fanciers wanting to systematize their approach, returnees to the sport seeking modern perspectives on health and training, anyone wanting comprehensive coverage of fundamentals. Less suited for advanced competitors at national levels won't find much new information. Research-focused readers seeking cutting-edge science on pigeon cognition and navigation. The deeper philosophy beyond winning. The book conveys a philosophy worth considering beyond its practical guidance. The repeated emphasis on observation, patience, and respect for birds as individuals reflects a mindset that transcends competition. The author's statement captures this perfectly. A pigeon races with its wings, but wins with its heart. Success doesn't come from forcing performance through harsh methods. It comes from creating conditions where birds willingly give their best effort. The trust built through consistent, caring handling, the security of a clean, comfortable loft, the motivation provided by emotional bonds, these soft factors ultimately determine performance as much as genetics. This aligns with modern understanding across all animal sports. Whether training horses, dogs, or pigeons, motivation-based approaches that respect the animal's autonomy produce superior results to compulsion-based methods. The bottom line, should you buy it? Yes, if you're serious about starting right. A beginner's path to pigeon racing success succeeds in its primary mission, providing comprehensive, practical guidance for pigeon racing newcomers. Despite editorial shortcomings and occasional repetition, the book delivers substantial value through systematic coverage of essential topics. The author's extensive experience shines through in practical details, specific nest box dimensions, warnings about overhead wires, the 10-minute feeding rule, race week nutrition strategies. These aren't theoretical concepts, but battle-tested practices from someone who's consistently won at the highest levels. What this book will do? Prevent costly beginner mistakes, accelerate your learning curve, establish solid management foundations, provide proven systems and routines, set realistic expectations. What this book will not do? Make you an instant champion. Replace hands-on experience and mentorship. Guarantee racing success. And the philosophy that runs underneath it is very consistent. Do not rush. Everything in pigeon racing is a sequence. If you jump a step, you damage the next step. If you try to skip experience, you lose birds. If you train recklessly, you pay for it later. The feeding and nutrition guidance is another standout piece because it teaches that feeding is seasonal. It breaks the year into breeding season, racing season, molting season, winter maintenance. It assigns each season a nutritional priority. It teaches the beginner that you don't feed birds the same way 12 months a year. Each period has its specific physiological demand. That knowledge is what creates form, and form wins races. What makes this book so valuable is not simply the information itself. Thousands of fanciers know these things already. It is the structure, The beginner desperately needs structure. The beginner needs a path. The beginner needs a sequence. This book gives them a path that is clear, orderly, and logical. It removes 80% of the overwhelm. Someone could read this book, build a correct loft, join a club, buy their first starter pigeons, and in their very first full year, if they actually follow this structure, they would not be lost, they would not be confused, and they would be operating like a fancier who has been in the sport several seasons already. That is an incredible advantage. This book, in many ways, protects the beginner from themselves. It stops them wasting money. It stops them chasing miracle products. It focuses them on fundamentals: clean loft, routine discipline, good feed, proven birds, correct training. This is exactly the kind of guide the sport needs right now, because pigeon racing worldwide is at a turning point. The sport needs new entrants. It needs younger fanciers. It needs people who can succeed quickly so they feel rewarded and stay in the sport. A demoralized beginner is a lost member, but a beginner who is guided properly becomes a long-term fancier. This book does not simply teach the sport, it invests in the future of the sport. It gives a starter formula that actually works, and it gives it with clarity. In conclusion, A Beginner's Path to Pigeon Racing Success is one of the most valuable first-step manuals a new fancier could possibly own. It bridges the gap between enthusiasm and correct action. It saves time, it prevents error, it steers the beginner away from the myths and towards the mechanics. It is not theory, it is applied pigeon racing management delivered in a form that anyone can follow. If you are starting pigeon racing, or you are thinking about entering the sport, or you are returning after a long break, this book is a fast route to confidence. It will not hand you trophies, but it will hand you a strategy. And in this sport, the person with a strategy always beats the person without one. The book's major strengths: comprehensive coverage. From loft construction to pigeon psychology, virtually every aspect a beginner needs is addressed. You won't finish wondering what important topic was skipped. Practical focus. The author prioritizes actionable advice over theory, giving specific recommendations on dimensions, feeding schedules, training distances, and health protocols. You could literally start building and managing a loft using this book as your blueprint. Emphasis on fundamentals. Rather than promising secrets or shortcuts, the book stresses that success comes from mastering basics: cleanliness, observation, consistency, and patience. This honesty is refreshing in a world of quick-fix promises. Realistic expectations. The author doesn't oversell the sport or promise instant success, acknowledging the learning curve and inevitable losses. This prepares beginners mentally for the actual journey ahead. Visual learning support. Photographs of quality lofts and equipment provide helpful reference points. The QR codes and website links throughout the book connect readers to additional video content and detailed articles, extending value beyond the pages. Integrated resources. The book doesn't exist in isolation, it connects to the author's YouTube channels and website for deeper dives into specific topics like disease management and training methods. That is why this book deserves a very strong recommendation. It is not just a book, it is a shortcut to competence.
Get my main racing system, just email me direct. I'm an experienced ex-pigeon racer from England, and I can offer valuable insights and guidance on all aspects of pigeon racing, from breeding to racing. During my racing days, I managed a small team of no more than 70 pigeons, including stock, young birds, and old birds. It was not uncommon for me to send as few as 6 birds to a race and still secure the top 3 positions out of up to 2,500 pigeons in my club and federation. My race distances typically ranged up to 300 miles, and I consistently achieved top 5 placements in my club. My expertise extends to the art of selecting excellent breeders, including evaluating pigeons based on their eye-sign characteristics. I firmly believe that true champions can only be bred from top quality stock, and I can guide you in identifying and acquiring such pigeons. I understand that many pigeons for sale are advertised based on their lineage or pedigree, but I emphasize the importance of assessing the bird itself rather than relying solely on paperwork. As part of my offer, I invite you to share photos of your pigeons, including their eye sign and wing characteristics. I'll provide you with free advice on racing and breeding based on my extensive experience and knowledge. Additionally, I will share auction links to high-quality breeding birds that have the potential to produce winners in your loft. Here's what you can expect to receive from me. A comprehensive Word document containing valuable insights and strategies for successful pigeon racing, including specific racing methods for both old and young birds, as well as general advice. Private YouTube videos sent to your email, covering various aspects of pigeon racing, from breeding to race preparation. Detailed recommendations on supplements and additives to add to your pigeons' drinking water, with scientific evidence supporting their effectiveness. Similar products are used by professional athletes and racehorses to enhance performance. Assurance that your pigeons will race home faster, provided that you have quality birds to begin with.